Most women don't realize their body has been trying to communicate with them for years, not through words, through exhaustion, tension, and the way they move through the day. Today, I'm sharing 5 signs your body has been trying to talk to you. And stay until the 5th one, because it's the sign I see most often in women who spent years taking care of everyone else. Exhaustion isn't always about needing more sleep. Sometimes it's a result of carrying too much for too long. When you spent years being the strong one, anticipating everyone's needs, pushing through when your body asks you to slow down, your nervous system begins to believe that constant effort is normal. Your body isn't failing you, it's asking for relief.
So in our first somatic practice, it's going to be called pause and notice. We're going to get started by just finding a comfortable seat here on your mat and orient ourselves into the room. So that means looking around, looking at anything that looks interesting or beautiful or has some movement or color. And we don't try to be objective about it or change or name what it is. We just look at it as something that's catching our attention. Maybe you never noticed some colors in a photo on the wall, or we don't attach that with any story. We're just visually taking everything in. And once you find something, just stay there for a few moments. And then go ahead and bring your attention back to yourself on your mat. We're going to start by getting grounded here. So you want to feel your sit bones on the mat, feel the earth beneath you, maybe feel the texture of the mat underneath you, or maybe if you're just on a rug or carpet. Start to feel and notice your body. We're going to start here taking some breath. We're going to take one hand on the heart and one on the belly. And start to ground ourselves by our breathing. First, just notice your natural breath. Right now, we're not trying to change that. Maybe you're breathing rapidly or shallow. And now we're going to start to change the breath. Inhaling for 4, and then exhaling for 6. That longer exhale helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest. So inhale for 4 and exhale for 6. Feel the breath, feeling the chest and filling the belly. And then as you exhale, feel the shoulders start to drop and soften each time you exhale. A couple more rounds here. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. Good. All right. Thank you.
Maybe you've noticed that even when you finally sit down, your mind keeps racing. You reach for your phone, you start another task. You feel guilty for resting. That's not laziness. It's often a nervous system that's forgotten what safety feels like. Rest can actually feel uncomfortable when you spent years surviving. Tight shoulders, jaw clenching, holding your breath, headaches, neck pain. These aren't random. They're often your body's way of holding on to stress it never had the chance to release.
Our somatic practice number 2 is release what you're holding. Throughout the day, we just keep pushing through, and we don't realize all of that tension is building up from things that we're carrying, things that we're trying to push through. So we're going to first start by getting some movement in here and kind of noticing where things feel tight and tense and like we're gripping, and then where we feel a little softer and where we have a little more space. And this is no time to judge. This is just simply starting to notice what your body is trying to tell you. So we're going to start with some gentle neck rolls. We're going to bring the chin to the chest, and we're going to slowly start to circle the head around to the left. You want to go slow enough that you're actually feeling what's going on in the body. Nice and slow here. We'll do about 3 in this direction, and then we'll switch directions of our circle. One more in this direction. And then when your chin gets down to your chest, reverse the direction of your circle. Circling around the opposite way now. Maybe you feel a difference when you circle one way versus the other way. One more here. And then when your chin gets to the bottom, we're going to lift the head back up to a neutral spine. Now we're going to do a neck release. You can just simply bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, or you can take the right hand towards the left side of the head and gently bring that head down towards the right shoulder. Feel the breath moving into the left side of that neck, opening up and creating space. A lot of us on our phones all day or on the computers, we start holding a lot of tension in the neck. One more breath here. Remember the exhale longer than the inhale. Slowly bring your head back up to center with an inhale, and then exhale. Let the left ear start to drop towards the left shoulder. Sending the breath into the right side of the neck, creating space and ease. Exhale longer than the inhale. One more breath. And then your next inhale, bring that head back up to center. We're going to roll out the shoulders here a few times in each direction. Inhaling the shoulders up, exhale, taking them down and around. And then reverse directions. Inhale the shoulders up, exhale forward and around. Good. Okay, so go ahead and stop the movement and put our hands on our knees and move into some spinal circles. There's no wrong or right way to do this. It's whatever feels organic or feels good to your body. We're going to come forward, start to circle around to the left. You can make the circle as big or as small as you want. You can get the head and the shoulders moving, whatever feels good to you. We'll do about 5 in this direction, and then we'll switch. 2 more. Last one. And then when you get to the front, we're going to reverse the direction of the circle. And circle it the other way. Noticing what feels good. Notice what feels a little tight or gripping. Notice where you move with ease. One more circle. And when you get to the front, we're going to go ahead and come back up to seated in the neutral spine. We're going to move through some seated cat-cows now. Leave the hands on the knees. We're going to inhale forward, lifting the chin, opening the chest, and pulling back the shoulders. On our exhale, we're going to tuck the chin, curl the spine, and gently press into the knees. Move at the pace of your own breath here. Inhaling forward, lifting the chin. Exhale, tucking the chin, curling the spine. Two more. Last one. Go ahead and stop the movement and come back to a neutral spine. That's the end of somatic practice number 2.
One of the quietest signs is losing connection with yourself. When someone asks what you need, you honestly don't know. You've spent so many years responding to everyone else that your own voice has become difficult to hear. That doesn't mean it's gone. It just means it's been waiting patiently. Your body whispers before it screams. Fatigue, irritability, tension, brain fog. They aren't character flaws. They're information. The more we ignore those whispers, the louder they become.
This is somatic practice number 3. This is coming home to your body. So we're going to do a little more movement with this one. There's no right or way to do this. Just whatever feels good. Maybe your body will tell you. Just slow down enough to listen. All right, we're going to start with just some gentle rocking, either back and forth like this, or maybe you rock forward and backwards. Feel the movement. Maybe you do both, go a little side to side and front to back. And breathing. Then go ahead and stop the movement. We're going to come into frog position. So we're going to come to our knees here. Maybe you need a blanket underneath your knees for a little bit of support. And we're going to take the knees out wide and flex the feet and come down to the forearms. And then we're just going to rock front to back, opening the hips a little bit, rocking forwards and backwards. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips. Sometimes some emotions will bubble up to the surface, especially when we're holding poses for long periods of time that open the hips. And go ahead and stop the movement. Come back up. Remove that blanket if you put one down for yourself. And then we're going to come to our back. And pull the knees into the chest. And then we're going to start to make little mini circles here. Circulating the knees around, massaging the lower back and the sacrum. And then switch directions of your circle.
Go ahead and stop the movement. We're going to sit into happy baby. So the knees are bent, the soles of the feet are up towards the ceiling, the knees are coming down towards the armpits. You can grab the tip of the toes, outer blades of the feet, or the inner blades of the feet. And you can stay still here, or you can start to rock the baby side to side. Again, massaging that lower back and sacrum. Exhale longer than the inhale. One more breath here. Go ahead and release the feet down to the mat. And we're going to windshield wiper the knees side to side. Then gradually start to slow that movement and make the movement smaller. And then we're going to set up for constructive rest. So we're going to keep the knees bent, let the knees come in and support one another in the center. Your hands can go by your sides, palms down for grounding, palms up for receiving, or put one hand on your belly and one on your heart. See how differently the body feels. You don't need to exercise or push through. Your body will start to soften once it feels safe. And doing these soft, gentle movements helps that body feel safe, signals to your nervous system that it's okay to rest. Exhale longer than the inhale. One more breath here. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Slowly push yourself back up to seated. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope this helps root before you rise. Until next time.
If you spent years ignoring your body's whispers, please know this. It's never too late to begin listening. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens one breath, one pause, one moment of choosing yourself at a time. If this helped you hear your body a little more clearly today, I'll be here next week. Until then, be gentle with yourself.